Good evening, Davison volleyball fans. We are here for the volleyball game against Powers Catholic, starting at 7 o'clock. We're just a few minutes away. Here, I'm Riley Wilcox here with Kate Lawrence. Kate, tell us a little bit about the game that we have tonight.
Well, Riley, it's supposed to be a really close game. We actually talked to Maya McAllen, and she said that her goal for this team is to basically just beat Davison, and they are very close. You can tell that because they're all saying how they are best friends. And we went to talk to Maya, and she actually brought the entire team over so that she could talk, which I think is really sweet.
Yes, and both teams said that it would be a very close match tonight.
Yes, they did. It was
going to be neck and neck.
Yeah, we talked. Okay,
so Powers will start out with the ball. That is number 3, Brenz. She hits it up over the net, met by Savannah Varela. She passes over, and Zoe's got a spike right off the bat. She's got an attack, putting Davison on the scoreboard 1-0.
Yeah, we actually talked to Zoe earlier in the day, and she said that, you know, they're playing Powers, and like Maya, she also said that they're a very close team. So this should be a very good game.
Okay, Parker Kodat sends the ball over. It's met by the Powers Chargers. They send it over. Number 14 sends it out of bounds, giving Davison the point, 2-0.
And you know, Riley, you said something about Parker Kodat. She's actually she's actually a senior, and this is her first time on the varsity team.
Parker Kodat sends it over the net, but she unfortunately goes out of bounds. Score is now 2-1. Number 9 in the back of the court for the Chargers. She hits it over, but she barely hits the net, sending it to the floor. Score is now 2-2. Number 9 with the serve again. That is Gebhardt. She sends it right out of bounds,
giving Davison the point.
Cards are up 3-2. Junior Alyssa Hennessy with the serve for Davison. She's going to toss it over. It goes over to the Chargers. Number 3 goes over to 7, but it was met by Zoe Rhines. She knocks it back. Score is now 3-3. Number 1, McCallaham. Goes over to Davison, and McKenna Carpenter goes for the attack. It goes out of bounds on Powers, 4-3. The Cardinals will start with the ball. That is Zoe Rhines in the back of the court. With the serve, she sends it over. We've got number 5 with an attack. That was Clark. Sent it out of bounds. We're now 5-3 for Davison. And already we can see that it's back and forth here. Davison and Powers are pretty neck and neck.
Yes, just like Coach Green said when we interviewed her, she said that she feels like this game is going to be very neck and neck, and it's going to be a very close because they are like the same team.
And number 7, Alyssa Hennessy, sends it out of bounds, bringing Powers up a point, 5-4. Now we have number 5, Clark in the back. Going to toss it over. Goes to the Cardinals, and McKenna Carpenter hits it over. And the Powers Chargers get that point, 5-5. Clark sends it over. We've got the Cardinals scrambling for the ball. Powers is up now 6-5. Number 5 again with the serve. Sends it over. Taylor Lentz gets under the ball, but it is caught up in the net. The Chargers are up 7-5.
And Taylor Lentz is actually one of 3 girls on this team who had a sister that graduated last year.
And unfortunately, McKenna Carpenter sends it out of court. For Davison, we're now 8-5. Powers has the lead. Cardinals have the ball, they send it over, and Alyssa Hennessy gets that spike, that attack right at the end there. Moving the Cardinals up 6-8. The Cardinals will start with the ball. That is Taylor Lintz with the serve. She hits it over, and it goes just barely out of bounds. It goes back in. Number 2, Rutherford passes it over to the Cardinals. And now they hit it back under, but Taylor Lintz just could not get underneath it. We're now 9-6. Number 7, Fright, sends it over to the Cardinals, but they're all scrambling for the ball. Taylor Lintz again could not get underneath it. Scores now 10-6, with Powers with a 4-point lead. Fright crosses the net. She passes it over. Cardinals back and forth. Davison, we've got Savannah Varela getting underneath the ball, and McKenna sending it over. Number 7 gets back under it, and it just keeps going back and forth. Taylor sets up for Chelsea Rischak, and it goes over, and it is out on the Chargers, 7-10.
You know, you talked about Savannah Varela. She's actually one of the other girls on the team, and the third one is...
From the JV team, it was Allison Hawk.
Yeah, and her sister was Anna Hawk, who was an amazing volleyball player last year.
The ball goes out. Score is now 10-8. Powers still has the lead here, but McKenna Carpenter is back in the court. She sends it over to the Chargers. Rischak sends it out.
And Arischak actually
11-8.
And Arischak actually had a sister that played on the varsity basketball team, Michaela.
As well as Chelsea, she also played for the varsity basketball team. We have number 11 setting up the serve, that's Jaggy. Sends it over to the Cardinals. Alyssa Hennessy goes for the attack. She sends it over to the Chargers. And the Chargers just could not get under it. It looks like we had a little communication error there. They didn't know which girl was going to go for the ball. Score is 11-9. Savannah Farella sends it over to the Chargers. Taylor Lintz sets up for an attack by Alyssa Hennessy. And the ball seems to keep going back and forth here. Number 3 sets up for an attack by number 14 from the Chargers. Sends it over, and the Cardinals are scrambling for the ball, and the refs decide that it goes to Powers, 12-9. Number 3, Brenz, to the left side, sends it over, and it scrapes the net, but the Cardinals just could not get underneath it. 13-9. The Chargers still have the lead here. Brenz over to the Cardinals. Zoe Rhines taps it over the net, and the Chargers are scrambling for it. Got some nice attacks there from the Chargers. Number 9, Gebhardt from the Chargers sent it over the net. Taylor Lintz just could not get underneath it, 14-9.
And we have a timeout.
We got a timeout here, and already we've had Number 3, Bren sends it over the net. And again, the Cardinals could not get themselves underneath the ball.
No, they
16
could
to
not.
9. And again, the Cardinals are just struggling just a little bit getting underneath that ball. 16 to 9. 17 to 9. Alyssa Hennessy makes connection with the ball, sends it back over. Savannah Varela sets up for Alyssa Hennessy, but she cannot make it over this time. The Chargers are up by 9 points now, 18 to 9. Number 3 with the serve. Pass it to Zoe Ryan. She's got a hard attack there, getting the Cardinals a point, 18 to 10. Parker Kodat has the serve. Sends it over. Taylor Lentz passes over to Alyssa Hennessy, and she got another hard attack, but it goes out of bounds, 19 to 10. No, Alyssa has a really great arm, but a lot of times she sends it too far, where if she just had it just a couple of feet inside the boundaries, she would have gotten a point there.
Yeah, she reminds me of Maria Vukai from last year, who had a really strong arm.
Cardinals have the ball as of now. Zoe Rhines get that attack. 19 to 11.
We have a substitution. McKenna Carpenter in for number 9, Tessa Labine.
Cardinals will start with the ball. They send it over. Number 14 has the attack. That was Riley Evans. But she was unsuccessful. The Cards blocked it out, 19 to 12. Number 3 sets it up for 7. And again, they make it just barely in the bounds. Or 19 to 13. Power still has the lead. Savannah Varela passes to Taylor Lentz. Zoe Ryan sends it over. And the Cardinals get the point, 19 to 4. Looks like the Cardinals are starting to catch up here. Number 1 with a great hit, that was McCallum. Sends it back over to the Cardinals. Taylor Lentz sets up for another great spike by Zoe Rhines. Number 9 from the Chargers, Gebhardt, dove for the ball, but unfortunately she sent it out. Number 1 with a great hit, that was McCallum. Sends it back over to the Cardinals. Taylor Lentz sets up for another great spike by Zoe That was a great save there by McKenna Carpenter. She just kind of knocked the ball back away from them. We've got a tie game, 19-19.
And we have another timeout.
That was a great
Going to be on the team for one more year together.
Hennessy with the serve. She sends it over to the Chargers. They went for the net there, but they saved it just at the end. Taylor Lent sets up for Zoe Rhines. She sends it over, and the Chargers send it back over the net, but send it out of bounds. 20-19. The Cardinals have the lead.
Let's hope they can hold on to that lead.
Hennessy goes over the net, sends it to the Chargers. Got 7 with an attack. Sends it over. Cardinals are now up 21-19. Three sets it up for number 5. She sends it right out of bounds though. 22-19. Hennessy with another serve. Over to the Chargers. Davison is trying to get under the ball, but we've got a jump ball.
Yeah, jump ball is a term you normally hear in basketball.
Score is now 22-19. Got a great attack there by number 14. That was Evans. But Zoe also has an attack. Sends it back over. Right now we're just going back and forth between the Cardinals and the Chargers. McKenna Carpenter goes for the ball, but she is stopped by the net. 22-20. Cardinals have a 2-point lead. McCallum goes for the serve. Sends it over to the Cardinals. McKenna Carpenter with a great attack there. Cardinals are now up 23-20. They only need 2 points to win this match. Rhines with the serve, sends it over, but number 9, that was Gebhardt, just kind of knocked it out of bounds there on her own side. 24-20, the Cards need 1 point here to win this match. Rhines with the serve, sends it over. 3 sets up for number 7. Goes over, back over to the Cardinals. Lent sends up for Chelsea Rischek, and she gets that last point.
for Chelsea Arischek.
They pass it over the net to the Chargers, and right away the Cardinals get a point. 1-0. Kodat has the ball. She's going to pass it over the net. Sends it to the Chargers. Chargers are trying to get underneath it. They send it back. Number 3 has a great pass. She sends it over to Savannah Varela, but she's stopped just in the last second by the net. Cardinals have the ball. Alyssa Hennessy goes for the spike for the attack. Sends it over. And the Chargers are once again stopped by the net. We've got 2-1. The Cardinals have the lead as of now.
And now we
some substitutions. Kenna Carpenter is in for Tessa Levine. Hennessy with the serve. Sends it over to the Chargers. And the Chargers go right into the net. I think that's the 3rd time that we've seen that.
Yeah, that net seems to be stopping everybody.
3-1. And just like we said, the net stopping everyone. Alyssa Hennessy is stopped by the net. 3-2. They're having some trouble there getting themselves over the net. Number 9 will start with the ball for the Chargers. She brings it over the net to the Cardinals. Number 3 with the set. Number 7 gets the attack. That was McKenna Fright. The Chargers will serve. That is 9 Gebhardt in the corner. Sends over to the Cardinals, and it goes out on McKenna Carpenter. 4-3. The Chargers have the lead. Gebhardt with the serve. He's going to send it over to Alyssa Hennessy. Taylor sets up the pass for 13, Zoe Rhines. Again, Zoe goes for that attack, but she's unsuccessful. McKenna Carpenter taps it over the net and gets the Cardinals their 4th point. We've got another tied game, 4-4.
And now we have another substitution. Chelsea Arischak is back in the game, and Savannah Varela is out.
The Chargers get another point, 5-4.
And Savannah Varela is back in the game, in for Zoe Rhines.
Number 1, McCallum with the serve. She sends it over to the Cardinals. But number 7 and number 8, that was Fright and Spear, were on the ball. Taylor Lentz just could not get in front of them to stop it. 6-4. Parker Kodak gets the ball. She sends it to McKenna Carpenter. She takes it over the net. And the Cardinals get their 5th point, 6-5.
And now Jocelyn Chandler, who is the only sophomore on the team, is now in for Parker Kodak.
Taylor Lentz will have the serve when we start. She makes it over the net to the Chargers. But they were just barely on the line there. 6-6, the Cardinals and the Chargers are tied. Lentz again with the serve. And makes her way to the Chargers. And again, the Chargers could not get underneath that ball. 7-6. Lentz will have the serve again. He's going to send it over to number 1, McCallum. And McKenna Carpenter gets the attack there, but she is out of bounds. Score is 7-7.
Another tied game. Something common in this game is tied games or very close games.
That is very true. We got number 1, Lintz sets up for McKenna Carpenter. She sends it over to the Chargers. Number 7 with the attack from the Chargers. That was Fright. 8-7. The Chargers have the lead. Number 5, Clark, will start with the ball. She's going to serve it over the net. Hit by Savannah Varela. We got Chelsea Arischek with another attack. 2 attacks back to back. We've got another tied game, 8-8.
Man, Chelsea Arischek, she has a very strong arm. Again, like Maria Vukai had last year.
Carpenter will serve. Makes her way to McCallum. Cardinals send the ball out of bounds. Chargers go up 1 point, 9-8.
And we have another substitution. Number 9, Tessa Labine, is in for McKenna Carpenter.
Lintz sets up for Chelsea Arischek. She gets the attack. She sends it over. Alyssa Hennessy with another attack. She sends it out of bounds though. 10-8. The Chargers still have the lead. Number 3 sets up the ball for a spike by number 9, Gebhardt. Score is now 10-9. Cardinals are just 1 point behind the Chargers.
And Zoe Rhines just came in the game.
Got an attack by 9, Gebhardt once again, bringing the Chargers up another point, 11-9.
And we have substitutions. Number 11 and number 14 have just entered the game, in for number 8 and number 1.
Number 11 spikes the ball. That is Jaggy. The Cardinals trying to get underneath it, but they sent it underneath the net. 12-9. Jaggy with the serve again. Sends it to Alyssa Hennessy. She gets a spike, an attack. Now we have Josie Chandler with another attack. Cardinals and the Chargers are going back and forth. Taylor Lintz dives for the ball and sends it out, 13-9. Chargers still have the lead. Chargers go for the serve there, but is sent right out of bounds. We got 13-10.
And now Parker Kodat is re-entering the game, in for Jocelyn Chandler.
And Kodat will start with the serve. Sends it over to the Chargers. We've got number 9 with a hard attack. That was Gebhardt. And Zoe Rhines with an even harder attack. They're just going back and forth here. Number 9, Gebhardt, sent the ball over the net. Kodat went to go dive for it, but she was just a hair short. 14-10. Powers.
And now Clark is in for Rutherford for Powers Catholic.
Number 3 sets up for 7. They try and send it over the net. But the Cardinals hit it out of bounds. We've got 15-10. And another timeout. No, we've had Number 3, Brenz with the serve sends it to the Cardinals. Parker Kodat hits the ball back to the Chargers. Gebhardt with another hit. Zoe with an attack. And the Cardinals get that point. 15-11.
And now McKenna Carpenter is in for number 9, Tessa Labine.
Alyssa Hennessy with the serve over to the Powers Catholic Chargers. And the Cardinals get that point, 15-12. Hennessy with another serve over, and she just clips the net there. But the Chargers couldn't get underneath it. The Cardinals get the point, 15-13. Hennessy with another serve. Hits it over to the Cardinals. They send it back. Zoe Ryan sends it over the net. Number 1, McCallum could not get underneath the ball. Score is now 15-14. Number 9, Gebhardt sends it over the net to the Cardinals, and they send it back over to the Chargers. The Chargers get the point, 16-14. Gebhardt with the serve. Lintz hits it over the net. We've got a hard attack there by, I believe that's number 7. She sends it back over the net to the Cardinals. McKenna Carpenter's got a hard attack. Cardinals are going back and forth with the Chargers, but lose the point, 17-14.
Again, like we've been saying all matches, this is a very close game. It's anyone's game.
Alyssa Hennessy gets underneath the ball. Carpenter goes for the attack. Number 9 with the attack. Score is now 17-15. Rhines with the serve, sends it over to nobody. 18-15. Number 1, McCallan with the serve. He's going to send it over to the Cardinals. Alyssa Hennessy is there to send it back over. Score is now 19-15. Chargers have a 4-point lead. Taylor Lynn sets up the ball for Carpenter with a hard attack. They get that point, 19-16.
And now Jocelyn Chandler is back in the game, and she's in for Parker Kodat.
Taylor Lentz has the serve. Makes its way over the net, but it makes its way out of bounds, 20-16.
Something I just noticed is that Taylor Lentz was communicating with her team, telling them what plays to make.
Yeah, like you said, we see that a lot from both of the Lentzes. They kind of tell the team what needs to happen, and they really instruct the team, this needs to happen, this needs to go. Carpenter sends the ball over to the Chargers. The Chargers knock it out of bounds. We've got 20-18. Number 3 sends it over the net, and Taylor Lentz can knock it underneath it in time. 21-18. Seven with the serve, sends it over to the Cardinals. Josie Chandler gets the attack. Back over to the Chargers now. That was number 9, Gebhardt, with the attack for the Chargers, 22-18. And we've got another time. Seven with the search, sends it over to the Cardinals. Josie Chandler gets the attack. Back over to the Chargers now. That was number 9, Gebhardt, with 7. Fright will start with the serve. Ball's gonna make its way over the net. The wrist check sends it over to back over to the Chargers. Josie Chandler with the spike. Lynn sends it back over to the Chargers. Chargers are trying to get underneath it, send it back over to the Cardinals. And the Cardinals get the point, 22-19.
And now Zoe Ryan is back in the game for Chelsea Arischek.
Number 9, Gebhardt, with another vicious attack.
You know, when talking about substitutions, with all this,
23-19.
we've seen a lot of substitutions this game, and that's probably to keep everybody like loose. And
Right, keep everybody ready for the end. Especially right now, it looks like we'll end up playing probably all 5 matches here.
And again, we're seeing another substitution. Parker Kodat in for Jocelyn Sandler.
Kodat with the serve. Sends it over to the Chargers. Going back and forth. Alyssa Hennessy with the spike, but it hits the net. Snaps back at the Cardinals. We're now 24-20. The Chargers have the lead. Number 3, Brenz, has the serve. It's gonna make its way to number 7, Alyssa Hennessy. She sends it back over to the Cardinals. Number 9 with another attack. Sends it out of bounds though, 24-21.
And now McKenna Carpenter is in for Tessa Labine.
Alyssa Hennessy sends the ball over to Powers. Powers sends it back at her, but they are out of bounds once again, 24-22.
You know, we haven't seen as many
Alyssa Hennessy sends the ball over to Powers. Powers sends it back at her, but they are out of bounds once again. Serving for the Cardinals. Makes its way over. We've got an attack by number 9, Gebhardt. And Alyssa Hennessy hits the net. 25-22.
And now we're going to toss things over to our sideline reporter, Emily Ferrante.
What's going on, Davison? I'm Emily Ferrante with your second game sideline report. This game has definitely been a difficult one for your Lady Cardinals, going head-to-head and tie-to-tie with the Chargers. But unfortunately, this game was given up to the Chargers. Who knows what will happen in the next game? Last year, 3 of your JV girls had moved up to varsity to play in districts. Who knows what will happen this year? I'll see you again at the third game.
And we're back.
Well, you know, Kate, this has been a crazy game so far, and I said this earlier too, but I just really want to stress how crazy it's been. It's been back and forth, and they predicted this. Both teams did. When we talked to them before the game, they said it's going to be a very close match, but it's going to be a lot of competition for both teams.
And I'm just now noticing that the that there are students here from Davison who are rooting on our girls, which is very important because you show good
sportsmanship and good
support.
Community. And it's nice to see all of our other Cardinals coming out to support our other Cardinals.
Yeah, and
not just our football boys. You know, one thing is here and there we see a good student section come out for volleyball.
Yeah, but the student sections are more common in basketball and football, so this is a very nice sight to see.
We've got a lot of the football boys out here tonight.
Yeah, and they actually played Powers last Friday, and you heard that.
Cardinals won that game, and hopefully we see here tonight that the Cardinals can win this game as well.
Exactly.
Just waiting for both teams to get back out on the field, just giving themselves a little pep talk.
You know, Riley, something I've noticed every in between matches is they switch sides, and I think that's pretty cool.
Just waiting on both teams to come out. We were talking with some of the Powers players, well, all of the Powers players, like I mentioned before. They said that they've been really having a lot of ups and downs this season, but their goal at the end of the day is to make their way to states. Last year, Davison went pretty far. They went to the first round of regionals, but they were knocked out by Fenton. And Davison said that they've been struggling a little bit this season, but I imagine they have the same goal in mind to get themselves to those playoff games.
Yeah, they did really good in districts. They actually won
they had
districts.
An amazing season last year.
They had a lot of seniors who you could tell had really good chemistry between the team.
Number 3, Brenz will start out with the ball for Powers. We're in the third match now. Taylor Lentz sets up the ball for Josie Chandler, and she sends it out of bounds. We have 1-0.
You know, and
Powers has the lead.
You know, and like we said earlier, these girls have some really strong arms, but they keep sending the ball out of bounds.
And just like that, like you said, sending it out of bounds, the Chargers send it out of bounds. Or no, the Cardinals send it out of bounds. Score is now 2-0. We're going back and forth here. Number 3 sets up for number 5. She sends it over to the Cardinals. That was Gabrielle Clark. Chargers are up by 3 points now, 3-0.
You know, and on that last play, Taylor Lentz went to dive, and she's been diving almost this entire game.
Savannah Varela sends it back to the Chargers. Number 3 sets up for Gebhardt. Gebhardt sends it over to the Cardinals, but they knock it back over the net. 3-1.
And now we have a substitution again. We have Parker Kodat in for Jasmine Chandler. You know, those two girls have been switching with each other almost these entire matches.
Kodak goes for the serve, but she hits the net. 4-1. Nine Gebhardt sends the ball to the Cardinals. Alyssa Hennessy has an attack. Number 3, Brenz tried to go for the ball, but she could not get there in time. 4-2.
And now McKenna Carpenter is in for Tessa Levine. Like I said, they've been switching in and out for each other too.
Cardinals will take the ball. They're sending it back and forth. Lint sets up for Alyssa Hennessy. She sends it over to the Chargers. They keep going back and forth here. But number 6, looks like it was McKenna Carpenter, sent the ball just to the line, just inside bounds, 4-3. Hennessy with the serve. She sends it to Powers. Powers is trying to get it over. Number 7, that was Fright, had it just on the tip of her finger and just kind of rolled the ball into the net.
You know,
got a tight game, 4-4.
And that net seems to be getting in everybody's way, being that it's 7'4", and nobody's 7'4" on these teams.
Number 5, Clark tried to send the ball back over to the Cardinals, but like you said, hitting the net, she hit the net. Score is now 5-4. The Cardinals have the lead. Hennessy with the serve once again. Sends it over to McCallum. Number 3 sets up for number 5. There's Clark. She sends it over to the Cardinals. Cardinals get that point, 6-4. Hennessy with the serve. Back over to the Chargers. Number 7 passes it back to the Cardinals. Lint sets up for Zoe Rhines. Again, Lint sets up for McKenna Carpenter, and they're just going back and forth. The Chargers were doing a really great job blocking the ball there, earning themselves a point, 6-5.
Yeah, this match is like the other 2 matches. It's very close already.
Lint sets up for Zoe Ryan. She sends it over to the Chargers, and they're just barely outside of bounds. Score is now 7-5. Cardinals have a 2-point lead.
Now Chelsea Orischek's back in the game.
Rhines with the serve. 3 sets up for number 5, I believe. Lint sets up for McKenna Carpenter, and she hits that. It was a great attack there, but it was caught by number 9, Gebhardt. 7-6. Clark with the serve, but she hits the net. Score's now 8-6. Cardinals have that lead. Lintz will serve for the Cardinals. She's going to hit it over to McAllen. Number 7, Fright, sends it back over to the Cardinals, and Alyssa Hennessy cannot get underneath it in time. 8-7. Number 7, Fright, with the ball, sends it over the net to the Cardinals. Lint sets up for a wrist jack. Number 3 sets up for number 7. She sends it back over to the Cardinals. McKenna Carpenter with that spike, that attack just there at the end. She was just inside the lines, getting the Cardinals another point, 9-7. Carpenter sends the ball to the Chargers. Number 7 hit with an attack over the net. Savannah Varela runs out of bounds to hit the ball back in. Game is still in play. Number 8, Spear, seemed to trip over her feet there at the end, trying to get the ball back in bounds, 10-7. Carpenter will start with the serve. 3 sets up for number 8. That was Spear once again. Number 11, Jaggy, sends the ball right out of bounds. Scores now 11-8. Varela sends the ball over to the Chargers. And that was number 14, Riley Evans, with the attack. But the Cardinals were there to block it. Score is now 12-8. Varela with the serve once again, sends it to the Chargers. Number 8 sends it back to the Cardinals. And Zoe Rhines with another attack. Going back and forth here. Alyssa Hennessy sends the ball back to the Chargers. 3 sends it over. That was Brenz. Josie Chandler with the attack, getting themselves the point, 13-8.
You know, number 7 and number 1 of the Powers just tried to dive for the same ball, but neither one of them could get it. They were both hairs short.
Right, and that's another thing with communication. Sometimes they're just so worried about getting the ball that they both dive for the ball. Varela goes right for the net, getting the Chargers another point, 13-9. Friends will serve for the Chargers. Sends it to Alyssa Hennessy. Lint sets up for Zoe Rhines. Number 9 with the attack, that was Gebhardt, making another point for the Chargers, 13-10. Brenz with the serve. Does not make contact and goes right out of bounds, 14-10. Kodat has the ball for the Cardinals. She's going to serve it. Makes its way to number 7. Number 3 passes it over. That was Mariah Brenz.
You know, and they just barely kept it in bounds to get that point.
Right, and you see that a lot where they dive or they try and get to it just at the last second, bring it back into bounds. 14-11. Number 3 sets up for 7. That was McKenna Fright. She sent it over to Savannah Varela, but she was just not in the right place. 14-12. Number 9 with the serve, sends it to Taylor Lynch. She sets it up for Zoe Rhines, and Zoe Rhines gets the point, 15-12. Number 3 sets up for 7. That was McKenna Fright. Taylor Lynch rolls the ball to number 6, McKenna Carpenter. 7 with the attack just there at the end. And that was Alyssa Hennessy who dove for the ball, but she was unsuccessful, 15-13. Zoe Rhines taps the ball over the net. It's gonna go out. on the Chargers. The Cardinals get the point, 16-13. Taylor Lentz passes the ball back to Alyssa Hennessy. Alyssa Hennessy goes for the attack, but she is out of bounds, 16-14.
Yeah, and that ball almost just hit one of our camera people, Maggie Rose.
Yes, we almost get hit by the volleyball and the basketball both so many times.
I'm surprised we haven't almost gotten hit today.
Number 3 sets the ball up for number 7. She sends it over. That was Brenz to Fright. Taylor Lentz was there to block it, but not in time. 16-15.
Again, this could be anyone's match.
Or anyone's game, for that matter. Ooh. There's some miscommunication there, it looks like. Savannah Varela had the ball, but Taylor Lentz dove in to take it out of her hands, earning the Chargers another point, 16-16. Another tie game.
Yeah, communication is very important, like we've been saying all game.
Over to McKenna Carpenter. Number 1, Taylor Lentz sets up for McKenna once again. She cannot get underneath it in time. That was Alyssa Hennessy with the attack there, but she sent it out of bounds. 17-16. The Chargers have the lead.
And again, that ball almost just
Over to McKenna Carpenter. Number 1, Taylor Lentz sets up for McKenna once again. She cannot get underneath it in time. That was Alyssa Hennessy with the
between number 3 and number 7 on the Powers team.
That was number 6, McKenna Carpenter there with that hit. 17-17, another tied game. These two teams both need 8 points to take the lead, to take the win in this match. Lentz with the serve. Over to number 3. Number 7, Fright takes it back over to the Cardinals. Carpenter goes for the hit, but she hits the net. 18-17. Chargers have the lead. Number 7, Fright, will send the ball to the Cardinals. Taylor Lentz sets up for McKenna Carpenter. She goes for the hit.
These teams get very electric when they score a point, as you should be.
Right, both teams they cheer so loud and they get the whole crowd to cheer with them. Score is 18-18. Now it is 19-18. Chargers have the lead due to that serve by McKenna Carpenter, in which she hit the net.
Yeah, and that ball almost ricocheted and hit number 10, Chelsea Oruschek, in the face.
Number 11, Jaggy, has the ball. She's going to send it to Tessa Labine. She sends it up to Josie Chandler, but she's not underneath it in time. It goes out of bounds, 20-18. Chargers still have the lead. Jaggy serves to the Cardinals. Alyssa Hennessy sends it over. We got all sorts of Chargers running for the ball, diving for the ball. That was number 9, Gebhardt, and 11, Jaggy, trying to get underneath that ball.
And number 8, who just came in, almost just tripped over the ball.
3 sets up for number 9, Gebhardt, and she gets that attack, gets that point as well, 21 to 19. Chargers have a 2-point lead. Brenz with the serve. Gonna hit the ball right into the net. 21 to 20.
And like we were saying, these teams get electric when they get a point, but they get in the huddle, and the team that just lost the point get in the huddle too. And that's another thing with communication.
Cardinals and the Chargers are going back and forth. Lentz sets up for Zoe Rhines, and Zoe Rhines hits it over to the Chargers, but they block it just in the nick of time. Send it back over to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals send it out of bounds, 22 to 20. Chargers with the lead. We've got the Cardinals diving for the ball. That was Kodat and Lentz. Zoe Rhines hits it over the net. Number 5 goes for it, sends it to Kodat, who also dives for the ball once again. We had Alyssa Hennessy with that really hard attack there just at the end, 22 to 21. They're just 1 point separating them.
And you know, with every, we just saw a substitution of McKenna Carpenter. With every substitution, both teams are communicating, okay, how can we work this one girl into a different play?
And that's a big key to how to win these games.
Oh, here comes the ball.
Right for us. And just like that, like I was saying, the ball will come right for us. Got another timeout. We've got the Cardinals diving for the ball. That was Kodat and Lentz. Zoe Rhines hits it over the net. Number 5 goes for it, sends it to Kodat, who also dives for the ball once again. We had
this one girl into a different play.
And that's a big key to how to win these games.
Oh, here comes the ball.
Right for us. And just makes its way to number 3. She sets it up for number 7. That was Fright. McKenna Carpenter tries to send it over the net, but number 14, Riley Evans, send it back over to her. McKenna Carpenter hit it out of bounds, 23 to 22.
And that ball almost just hit the head coach of Davison, Tiffany Harper.
We've got number 1, McCallum, sends it to 7. 7 hits it over the net to Alyssa Hennessy. McKenna Carpenter sends it back to the Chargers. Number 5 with the attack. Taylor Lentz and Parker Kodat, if you saw there, they were just kind of diving all over the place to get that ball back to the Chargers, but they were unsuccessful not getting the point. Chargers go up 24 to 22.
And we have another timeout.
Game is getting very, very close here, but I just want to take this time here to serve to work out for them. She sends it to Savannah Varela. Varela goes to Rhines. We've got Chargers diving to the floor. Number 7 hits it over to Varela again. Zoe Rhines tries to hit it back over the net. Cardinals are going to try so hard not to let this point go through. Cardinals are going back and forth with these two defenders. We've got 5 and 8 from the Chargers. Back and forth, and ultimately McKenna Carpenter hit the net there at the end. Score is now 25-22. Gonna toss things over here in just a second to our sideline reporter, Emily Ferrante.
Hey Davison, I'm Emily Ferrante with your third game sideline report. This game has caused your ladies a very difficult challenge. More ties than even the last game. But this game has gave the Lady Chargers their second win. One more and they'll have the game. But until then, and your possible winner, I'll toss things back over to Kate and Riley until the fourth game.
Crazy game so far. The Davison won the first match. The Powers Catholic Chargers won the second and the third. So now we go into the fourth one. If the Chargers win this one, then this ends the game. But if they do not, Davison wins this one, then we go into that fifth match. It's only to 15 points. We've seen lots and lots of tough and hard-working players out here tonight from both of our teams.
Yes, we have them. And both teams seem to have everybody having a strong arm.
Right, and you need that strong arm because how hard the volleyball is, you have to have that strong arm to send it over the net and to aim it where you want it to go. A lot of times it just goes over to the side, but you need to have that strong arm to send it where you want it.
And now both teams are in a huddle talking about how they can win this fourth match. And
this match is just very, very crucial because either way it works out, Powers could either shut down Davison, not even let them play in the fifth match, but if Davison wins this one, then they get to play that fifth match, and it goes down to whoever can win that one. So this match is very, very crucial to the outcome of the game. We will be back here in action next Friday for the homecoming game. We'll have the football game and the homecoming parade, all that live. The following week on the 5th, we will have that football game live against Warren De La Salle. That is the pink out game. And then later on in October, the 16th, we will have another live volleyball game against Carmen Ainsworth. And later on in the season, we will have a soccer game live on Charter Channel 191. The Chargers and the Cardinals are getting themselves set on the field, on the court.
And now Coach Harper is telling her girls is using great communication. Now, the communication is not just within the players, but it's also within the entire team, and that includes the coaches as well.
Kodat with a hard serve. She sends it to the Chargers. Number 9, Gebhardt tries to get under it. She sends it back. Zoe Rhines has a great attack there, but she sends it out of bounds, 1-0. Chargers have the lead. Lint sets up for Alyssa Hennessy. She sends it back to the Chargers. Number 9, Gebhardt with the hit. She sends it back over. Taylor Lint sends it out of bounds, 2-0. The Chargers still have the lead. Zoe Rhines with that strong arm. She gets another great attack, 2-1.
And now McKenna Carpenter is in for Tessa Labine.
Hennessy will have the serve. Makes contact with McCallum. It goes out of bounds. out of bounds on the Cardinals. The Chargers get the point, 3-1. Number one, McCallum sends it back over to number 3. That was Brenz. Sent it over the net, but no one was there to catch it.
Yeah, Savannah Varela actually dove for that ball, but like we've said, she was just hairs away.
Powers is up 4-1. Taylor Lentz set the ball over to the Chargers, but number 1 on that team, McCallum, tried to go for it. She dove for it, but she wasn't there in time. 4-2. Zoe Rhines with the serve. She sends it to the Chargers. Arischak taps the ball over to McCallum. She gets it. We had number 9, Gebhardt, with the attack. But she sent it out of bounds. Score is 4-3. Number 3 set up the ball there for number 14. That was Riley Evans. Sent it over the net. Now we've got a tied game once again, 4-4. Zoe Rhines with the serve. Sends it over. With no one there to catch it, they get the point, 5-4. Rhines will serve once again for the Cardinals. Sends it to McCallum. She's blown away by the ball. Lint sets up for Chelsea Arischak. Now the Chargers have the ball once again. We've got that hard spike by number 7. Back and forth between the Chargers and the Cardinals. The Chargers end up getting the point. We got a tied game, 5-5. McCallum will serve. Sends it to Parker Kodat. Varela sends it over the net, but she sends it out of bounds. We got 6-5. Chargers have the lead.
Yeah, there was a little miscommunication between Varela and Hennessy. They both were going for the ball, but Varela got there just in time.
The ball goes out of bounds. We've got another tied game, 6-6.
You know, this match is already starting to look like the other 3 matches where it's very close.
And especially with this one, we're seeing it. Davison gets a point, then Chargers get a point, and then they get another, and then it goes back and forth. Both teams so badly want to win this one.
It looked like number 5 just got hit in the face.
Arischak with a hard attack there, getting the Cardinals another point, 7-6.
And like you just said, Cardinals have a point, Chargers get a point.
Right, and both teams really, really want this match to go in their favor. Lentz with the serve. And is going back and forth with McCallum. She's brought down 8-6.
And something I don't know if everybody at home can see, but some girls from the JV team have stuck around to cheer on the varsity team.
It's great to see all of our teams supporting each other and all of our events supporting each other.
Yes, it is. At home can see, but some girls from the JV team have stuck around to cheer on the varsity team.
It's great to see.
Like how proud they were of each other, and that is very important when it comes to team. like the old saying goes, there's no I in team. It's
That's true. We got Taylor Lentz. She's going to serve to McCallum. And number 6, that was McKenna Carpenter. She just kind of tapped the ball back over the net. 10-6.
yeah.
Cardinals have a 4-point lead.
And as the girls were just going in for their huddle for the point, all the girls did like a little swish move, and some girls on the sidelines were doing it too.
Lentz with the serve, she barely misses the net. Number 7, I believe, has this attack. Josie Chandler gets that attack from the Cardinals. Taylor Lentz sets up for Chelsea Rischek. We've got 2 defenders from the Chargers blocking that one. Those 2 blockers are doing an amazing job blocking that ball. But the Cardinals get through that defense. Got 11-6.
And like we've been saying throughout this whole game, back and forth and back and forth.
Lentz goes straight for the net. Score is now 11-7. There's still that 4-point lead, so it doesn't set them back too far. But still, every single point counts, especially in the 4th round. When the ball goes out on the Chargers, the Cardinals get the point 12-7.
And like I said earlier in the game, this lead has been no more than 5 points between the winning team and the losing team.
Number 7 gets underneath that ball. She sends it back to the Cardinals. Varela goes out of bounds to get that ball back. Number 8, that was Spear, sends it over to the Cardinals.
You know, number 5.
Getting them the point 12-8.
You know, number 5, Josie Chandler, again, was trying to hit the ball, but she was just a few inches away.
Alyssa Hennessy sends the ball out of bounds.
And it almost hits our
Tessa
camera
Labine
people.
dives for it. She goes out of bounds to get it back, but she hits the wall. We got 12-9. Number 7, Fright with the serve. Sends it to Alyssa Hennessy. Lentz sets up for Chandler, but it goes over the net. The Chargers get that point 12-10. Number 7, Fright will serve again. And number 3, I believe that was, Brenz with that hard attack there, bringing the score to 12-11. The Chargers are starting to catch up here.
Yeah, and something I noticed on the last play, something I noticed on the play before the last one, is that one of the Davison players and one of the Chargers players gave each other a high five, which is showing some really good sportsmanship,
Right.
which is what we emphasize here at Davison.
You definitely need that sportsmanship, that communication, working well with not just your own team, but other teams is how you end up winning these games. Like Ms. Green said, the team that wins tonight, that walks out with the win, is the team that communicated and worked together. Let everybody get a chance at the ball. Let everybody work it out. Cardinals are back on the court, just waiting for the Chargers to make their way. Number 7, Fright will start with the serve. Makes contact with Savannah Varela. Sends it to Josie Chandler. She gets the attack, sends it back to the Chargers. And number 9, Gebhardt, gets that attack, bringing it to another tied game, 12-12.
And like we've been saying every match, this match can be anybody's match, but this match is very important because it could be the deciding match.
Alyssa Hennessy sends the ball back to the Chargers. Back and forth. Lint sets up for a wrist jack. A wrist jack sends it to the Chargers. Got lots of hard attacks here. Almost knocks Taylor Lintz down, and the ball goes out on the Cardinals, 13-12. Chargers have the lead. Lintz sets up for a hard attack by Chelsea, a wrist jack. And she gets the point, 13-13, another tied score. Varela will serve for the Cardinals. He's gonna send it to McCallum. Number 3 just taps it over the net. That was Brenz. Taylor Lintz dove for the ball, but knocked it into the net, taking her and the ball both to the floor. Score is 14-13. Chargers have the lead. Jaggy with the serve. She sends it to the Cardinals. Cardinals are having some difficulty sending it over the net. Oh, and the ball goes out of bounds into the announcers.
And now we have substitutions on both sides.
Now we've got a tied game once again, 14-14. Kodat with the serve. He's gonna send it to number 7 on the Chargers. Back and forth. Hennessy with the attack. She makes another point for the Cardinals, 15-14. Kodat with another serve. Sends it to number 7, Fright. Back and forth. Cardinals are trying to get underneath it. Send it back. Alyssa Hennessy hits the net, but she makes it over. Kodat passes to Hennessy again. She hits the ball over the net. And number 14, Riley Evans, hit the ball over to the Cardinals, getting themselves another point, 15-15. I believe that's our 4th or 5th tie here.
In just this one match alone, we've had, like you just said, 4 or 5 ties.
Kodat is under the ball. She sends it to Lintz. Rhines is trying to get it over, but she's got that tough defender. She's got Evans right on her, not letting that ball go through. Cardinals get it through, though, 16-15.
And when Taylor Lynch just attacked that ball, she had a great look on her face. You could tell she was really determined to get that ball over the net and get a point for her team.
Number 9 with that hard attack that goes slamming into Alyssa Hennessy. That was number 9, Gebhardt. Another tied score, 16-16.
And as number 8 goes to chase down the ball, both teams are communicating, telling each other, you know, what's important right now.
Spear will serve, or no, that's Gebhardt. He's gonna serve. Sends it over to the Cardinals. The Cardinals go for the attack, but the Chargers could not get underneath that ball, 17-16. Rhines will serve. Makes its way to the Chargers. Number 5, Clark goes for the attack, but she hits the net, getting the Cardinals another point, 18-16.
And again, that net keeps getting in everybody's way.
Hard attack by number 7, but she is blocked just in the nick of time by Taylor Lintz and Chelsea a wrist jack, getting the Cardinals another point, 19-16. Cardinals get themselves another point, 20-16. Got another timeout, and you can tell by just the energy from the Cardinals. They're so excited with how the Cardinals get themselves another point, 20-16. Makes its way to the Chargers, number 14 with a hit. Chelsea Rischak hits it back over. Got Kodak goes to Lintz. Lintz sends it to Rischak. Rischak gets the hit. And the Cardinals will get that point, 21-16. Number 7 with that hit. That was Fright. We had some Davison defenders trying to get underneath that ball, but they ultimately hit it back into the net and then back at themselves into the floor. We've got 21-17. Cardinals have the lead. Number 1 with the serve. McKenna Carpenter with that attack. It's going back and forth between both sides. The Chargers are struggling a little bit to get underneath the ball. Lint sets up for a wrist jab. Another attack by number 7. That was Fright. McKenna Carpenter tried to dive there at the end for that ball, but she hit it underneath the net. You got to go over. 21-18.
And I think we now have a Powers injury. Number 8 is holding her elbow. I hope she's okay. Number 8 keeps saying that she's good, and her coach keeps saying, do you want to come out? But you can tell she's in pain.
It's like 8 is shaking her arm, trying to get it back. Get the feeling back in her elbow. Number 1, Lintz sets up for Chelsea Rischak. Number 1 sets for 7. 7, that was Fright, hit it back over. Cardinals and the Chargers are going back and forth. Rischak with a hard hit, she knocks down number 9, Gebhardt. McKenna Carpenter with another attack, but she hits it out of bounds, 21-20. Chargers are on the comeback here a little bit.
And number 8 is still looking like she's in pain. Maybe she landed on that funny bone, which is not so funny when you land on it.
Get the feeling back in her elbow. Number 1, Lintz sets up for Chelsea Rischak. Number 1 sets for 7. 7, that was Fright, hit it back over. Cardinals and the Chargers are going back and forth. Rischak with a hard hit, she knocks down number 9, Gebhardt. McKenna Carpenter with another attack, but she hits it out of bounds. Here.
She's still holding onto her elbow, and her teammates are making sure that she's okay.
Lintz sets up for Chelsea Rischak, and Rischak sends it to the Chargers. The Cardinals get the point, 22-20.
Now they only need 3 points to take this match, and we go into into match 5.
Josie Chandler is in for Parker Kodat. Taylor Lintz has the ball with the serve. She sends it to the Chargers. Got a hard attack by number 7. That was Fright. She sent it over to Alyssa Hennessy, and Alyssa Hennessy knocked it out of bounds. And got 22-21.
And Kelsey Harper for the Cardinals had to get up so that she didn't get hit in the head and get maybe a concussion.
Right, and that ball comes fast at you when it does.
Like we've been saying all game, strong arms, strong arms. And so if you get hit by one of those volleyballs, it's not going to feel good.
We've got another tied game, 22-22. Cardinals, or the Chargers got that point there at the end. Kenna Carpenter with that attack. Chargers are diving for the ball. That was Gebhardt going out of bounds trying to get it, but she just couldn't get it in time. 23-22.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little miscommunication between a couple of the Chargers players. They both went for the ball and couldn't keep it in bounds.
Carpenter will have the serve. Number 3 sets up for 7. That was Fright. She tried to pass the ball to Svanarella. She tried to go out for it, but Svanarella just didn't get there in time. Got another tied game, 23-23.
Now number 8 looks like she's okay. We've been keeping an eye on her ever since she started holding her elbow, but she looks like she's okay right now.
Girls are kind of stumbling over top of each other from the Cardinals. That doesn't stop them. They get the point, 24-23.
Now the Cards only need 1 point to take this match, and we go into match 5.
And they cannot let the Chargers get a point here.
No, they cannot.
Svanarella dives for the ball. Lynn sets it up for Zoe Ryan. She taps it over the net. Lentz is on that ball. She goes diving for it, back and forth. Again, Tessa Labine goes running to go get that ball, and it goes out of bounds. We've got a tied game, 24-24. One thing that we'll see here is if the team gets to 25, they can't win this. They have to get to 26. They have to have those 2 points on the other team.
And now number 8 is finally coming out of the game.
She looks all right after her injury. She's still walking around getting her water. Lentz sets up for Zoe Ryan. She kind of stumbles there a little bit, but she makes it over the net. Chargers miss that ball. We've got 25-24. We need that 1 point from the Cardinals.
This game is so close.
Parker Kodat was coming in. Taylor Lentz said, come on, let's go, let's go. She's trying to get Tessa Labine back into the game and everybody else too. Bren sets up for number 9. That was Gebhardt. Parker Kodak goes diving for that ball. Looks like we've got another tied game, 25-25. Now the teams have to make their way to 27. Lentz sets up for number 7. That was Alyssa Hennessy. We got Gebhardt with another hard attack. Score is now 26-24. Cardinals look a little defeated here, or 26-25. The Cardinals looked a little defeated there, but the Chargers have to have those 2 points. There's still some time here for them to come back.
And now I just noticed that Tessa Labine was holding her elbow. A lot of elbow injuries this game.
Hennessy goes for the ball. Chargers are trying so hard to get that 1 point, and they get it. Taylor Lentz and Zoe Ryan try to get underneath it, defend that ball. They try and defend that ball, but they are unsuccessful, and the Cardinals ultimately end up losing the 4th match as well as the game.
Yeah, and again, with the sportsmanship that we've been talking about, all the teams, all the girls just went through and high-fived the other teams like you should, because that is showing a really good sportsmanship, and that doesn't make people think that you're a sore loser.
And going into this game, it was a little weird. It was a little unknown what was going to happen. Both teams just thought this is going to be great competition of each other, but Cardinals won the first one, so everyone thought Cardinals got this one in the bag, but then the Powers Chargers, they won the 2nd, the 3rd, as well as the 4th.
And like, this wasn't a big blowout game. Like we said earlier in the game, the lead was never greater than 5 points.
Right, it was a very tough neck-and-neck game. Well, thank you for watching. I'm Riley Wilcox along here with Kate Lawrence and the whole DTV crew. Good night.